Hi everyone, as you know, Unreal Engine 4.26 has been released, and by default, as you all know by now, it still implements PhysX as the default physics engine. So if you want to use your chaos vehicles with 4.26, you need to recompile it from source. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to do it. So first of all, in order to be able to access the Epic repository where the Unreal Engine source code is, you need to follow the procedure which is explained here. So you have to have a GitHub login. So you need to get yourself an account on GitHub, and once you're done with that, you can sign up for the Epic account, and after an authorization they will link your existing GitHub account to the Epic repository so you can access it. So once you have been authorized, you will be able to see the source code of Unreal Engine on GitHub, and then you can go ahead and download them. So there are two ways to do it. You can download it as a zip file and then you can unzip it in a folder on your hard drive and follow the next steps, or you can open directly with Visual Studio. So once you have the source code on your drive, then you need to compile the engine. And you do that by changing a couple of settings so that we can enable chaos in it. So let me show. I've already cloned the repository, but in your case you will need to go ahead and clone it. Once you have done that, you end up with the engine, and this is the folder I have downloaded it directly from Visual Studio. The first thing that you have to do once you have all the engine downloaded is to run this batch file, Setup.bat. And once you run it, it will download some extra components and also install the prerequisites. I'm not showing it because it's a very long process. The next thing that you need to do once you're done with that is to run this other batch file, GenerateProjectFiles. But before doing that, we need to make sure that we enable chaos. So the way to do it is you go within your engine folder and within your source. And now you have these 4 files, and we have to edit the editor one. So right click, I'm going to use Notepad++ to do that. And in here, you want to make a few changes. So after this line that says build environment equal target build environment dot shared, add these 2 lines. D compile chaos equal true, and B use chaos equal true, and save. Now, some of the Epic documentation says that you need to change the .shared into .unique. Don't do that, because that creates errors when launching the compiled version of the engine. So just leave it as it's shown here. And once you're done with that, save. Then close this. And now back to the folder where the engine has been installed. We are ready to launch GenerateProjectFiles.bat. So go ahead and double click it, and it will take a bit of time to do that, so I will resume once it's done. Okay, so once this step is completed, this is the project file that has been created by the batch file we ran before. So you just double click to open it in Visual Studio. In my case, I'm using Visual Studio 2017 still, but you might be using 2019. Let the project load. Okay, so once the solution file has loaded, you can click on Unreal Engine 4 and then right click and you set a startup project if it's not already so. So you can see it becomes bold. And then the next thing that you have to do, go to build and build Unreal Engine 4. And this will start a very long process which will build the engine and also all the tools that are necessary. And depending on your computer and depending also on your hard drive, it might take from 45 minutes to many hours. So I will start it and then I will resume once it's done. Okay, so once the editor has finished building, which in this case has taken 4,378 steps, it's time to check how project with chaos works, and in this case we're gonna check it on my previous tutorial where I showed how to implement the chaos vehicle. So let's open the project, and we will open first with 426 launcher version and check that it's not working. And then we will switch to the newly compiled engine, which has chaos enabled, and show that it's working. Okay, so once the project has opened, let's switch to the test map. And if we play, you will notice that the car doesn't even fall onto the ground and it's not drivable. Okay, so let's close this one, and of course you get a lot of errors. And let's go back to the project, and now let's switch the project to the engine we just compiled. So this will be on my F drive, and confirm. And now let's reopen the project. And of course, since it's a new engine version, it will need to compile all the shaders, which happens in the background. So it might be stuck at 45% for a while. So we'll resume once it's done loading the project. Now that the project is open with the newly compiled version of the engine, let's open the test map again. And if we play this time, we should be able to drive our chaos vehicle around. And as you see, everything works, including the bags that are still in the system. So here is how you compile the engine with chaos enabled and make your chaos vehicles work again. Thanks for watching. Bye.